All right, good morning, everybody. Hello, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all ready for some gaming fun today. Full day of streaming ahead. And in fact, prepare and gear up for one of my longest streaming weeks ever in history because I am going to be streaming today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I started streaming on Sunday. That's 8 straight days of streaming, guys. That's a lot. And we've got new releases right on the horizon. Well, a new release right on the horizon that everyone's excited for, which we're going to talk about today on the pre-stream. Resident Evil 8 Village is right around the corner, and everyone's talking about it because today the review embargo was lifted. Yes, my nose is stuffed because of allergies. Yes, I am on an allergy pill right now, waiting for it to kick in. It takes about a half an hour. And I took it about, well, actually, I'm trying to think of when I actually did take it. I guess I took it about 30 minutes ago, so it should be kicking in any minute, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty stuffed. My allergies have been bad this year, and this is no exception. I mean, they're, really bad right now. Nothing I can do about it. That's the problem with allergies. They come back and you just got to wait for your body to kind of build up an immunity to the pollen that's out there. Right now, literally everything is in bloom outside. It's like ridiculous amount of pollen. The trees are blooming. The flowers are blooming. The shrubs are blooming. Oh. It's intense. Intense amounts of pollen action. But today, full day of streaming for you guys. Hopefully you guys are ready for some fun. By the way, I should say, today is Wednesday, the 5th of May, 2021. I hope you guys are excited for another full day of gaming goodness. Good stuff. What are we doing today? Let's talk about the schedule. Then we'll get into discussion about Resident Evil 8. Because it seems like the opinions out there are actually torn. I'm seeing very different opinions about the game out there, which is interesting. It's always interesting when people play the same game, yet somehow have completely different opinions about it. Okay? So, let's talk. Today's stream. By the way, it is Cinco de Mayo. I guess I should say that. For those who celebrate the holiday, happy Cinco de Mayo. Personally, no, I'm not really celebrating. It's funny because I didn't realize it was Cinco de Mayo. And one of the meals that we're actually going to have today, or this week I should say, is a Mexican bake. Where my wife takes all these Mexican ingredients like flavored rice, refried beans, salsa, tortillas. And she bakes them into this bake in the oven, and we cut it up, you eat it. It's good. But I didn't realize today was Cinco de Mayo. If I had realized that, I probably would have suggested to her that we have that for dinner today. But I totally forgot it was Cinco de Mayo. So I don't know if we're going to have anything, related to the holiday today. Likely not. But anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome. What are we doing? It is the continuation of Returnal today. Today will be my third major session of Returnal. Last time around in Returnal, I basically finished up the second stage and got to the boss, but didn't really engage the boss. Reason being, I felt like if I did, it would be a waste of my time, that I didn't have enough health to fight it. So I didn't fight it. Come to find out, this is some interesting stuff I found out since the last time I played the game. Once you trigger the boss, okay, even if you die, this now allows you to find a gateway that teleports you to the boss. So you don't have to go entirely through the second stage again. Once you've actually fought the boss once, you can actually have a shortcut to the boss, which I didn't know. Right? How was I supposed to know that? The game certainly hasn't done anything like that up to this point. So I had absolutely no clue that would have been the case. And I didn't engage the boss, and basically I screwed myself. Okay? I completely screwed myself. So today the goal is to obviously, number one, get to the boss. I don't even care if I can kill it. Just get to it to unlock this shortcut. Then obviously, to beat the boss, I need to try to get through the second stage today, or I guess you should call it the second biome. That's what everyone's calling it. So I hope we'll have some progress. I mean, ideally, I would like to see the third biome today. I've heard it's incredibly difficult. Everyone's saying it's like cripplingly difficult. It's basically a big difficulty spike. But apparently, once you beat the third biome, it's kind of like a reprieve, because once you do, then you can start the game from the fourth biome. You don't have to do the first 3 biomes anymore. It's like a reset button. So that's kind of interesting. But I hope I do better. I hope I do better today. I hope we have progress. As you know, I played this on Sunday. And basically we saw the whole second stage, but didn't get any progress to stick because of the way that the game is designed. But I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to say, now I'm going to reapply myself today, and hopefully we actually get progress. Okay? All right. So, that's the deal. That's what's going on. All right? Later tonight, it'll be a nice late night chill stream. Yes, sorry. Got distracted. My phone vibrated. Tonight will be a late night chill stream. Sorry. Stupid phone. Alright, that's it. I put my phone down. It's distracting me. I keep getting... I'm going to plug my phone in. I'm going to put it the fuck down. I've got to talk to you guys for a pre-stream and stop being distracted by this stupid thing. When technology pisses me off, this is the case. Alright, fuck this phone. I'm putting it over here. I'm not looking at it. Okay. Tonight is a late night chill stream. It's like the 7th time straight I said that. Tonight it is the continuation of new Pokemon Snap on the late stream. Okay? Alright, good. Hold on. Hello, everyone. See, you got my full attention. I feel bad because I was distracted so many times by the stupid fucking phone. I'm here fully to pay attention to all of you now, okay? Fuck that shit. Okay. So, I'm excited for more new Pokemon Snap. I actually really like the game. I've been enjoying it. It's definitely a game that's chill fun. It's not a game that's meant to be super attention enthralling, especially because you have to replay some of the same stages over and over and over in order to grind a bit and unlock future stages by getting better scores. At the same time, chilling during the stream, having fun conversation, and just having a good relaxing time, that's definitely what the game's about, and I'm really enjoying it for that aspect so far. So tonight, 2 hours of new Pokemon Snap on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Hope you guys are ready to kind of chill and relax and have a good time while we take pictures of cute Pokemon. Okay? Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I begin my B-side run in Nier Replicant. Yesterday, I went overtime on the first stream, and I finished up the very first run, which was good. It was fun. It was interesting. And I liked the ending, but the ending left a lot of unanswered questions. Much like Nier Automata, where the first ending basically explains absolutely nothing. That's kind of what happened here. You kind of got a resolution to your main character storyline, but you don't get any of the answers about any of the stuff that's really happened during the game. So, tomorrow the B run begins, and what I'm to understand is that this is going to be way more streamlined, because you don't have to do any of the first half of the game. The B run essentially is you're playing the second half of the game again, but a lot of differences, little changes in the gameplay, into the cutscenes. The story pans out differently. It's kind of interesting in that regard. So I'm excited for that, and I hope you guys will join me tomorrow for the beginning of my B run. Okay? Tomorrow night, it's actually going to be my weekly session of MLB The Show. I haven't played MLB in a week now. This is meant to be a game that's going to be played about once a week as a late night chill stream. It should be fun because we like, kind of chilling while I'm trying to improve my baseball skills. Even though I suck at the game, it's actually entertaining to see me every once in a while get a win and, of course, flub it and fail. And there's a lot of interaction during those streams as well. So that's tomorrow night, okay? Now, of course, all of this is building up to Friday, which is the big thing we're going to be talking about in just a moment. All these reviews that have come out of Resident Evil 8 Village, okay? If the reviews are to be believed, this game is going to be interesting no matter what. It doesn't even matter, like, if I like the game or not. The game is going to be an interesting experience for all of us together on stream. And by the way, I cleared my weekend for this. I'm playing Resident Evil 8 Wednesday. What the fuck am I talking about? Let's try this again. I'm playing Resident Evil 8 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that means we will get 9 to 10 hours of gameplay in Resident Evil 8 within the first weekend. And likely it will wrap up my playthrough next week because by reports, the game is only anywhere from 10 hours long if you rush through it to about 15 hours long if you take your time and read all the lore and everything in the game, which I like to do with survival horror games. Okay? So, I'm excited for this, obviously. I like Resident Evil a lot. One of my favorite survival horror series of all time. In fact, I'd say it probably is my favorite survival series of all time, with Silent Hill right behind it. And, you know, Resident Evil 7, I wasn't sold on the game when I played the demo and everything, but then when I actually played the final game, I really liked it. So maybe that'll be a situation here, because remember, that demo I played about a month and a half ago, I was kind of like, nah, but now maybe it will end up being a game that I absolutely enjoy. I don't know, okay? I guess we'll have to see when I play it this weekend. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my thoughts about it now that I've read a couple reviews in just a moment. Let's get to that when we get to it. But let's talk about the rest of the schedule. So Friday, it's the premiere of Resident Evil 8 Village. And then Friday night, it'll be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. Okay? Saturday, it'll be more Resident Evil 8 Village. And then on Saturday night, it will be the continuation of Danganronpa V3, which I'm really excited for because last time we played it, holy crap, we had a double murder. First time ever in the Danganronpa series that I remember there being a double murder. And now we have to figure out if there's two different murderers, if there's one murderer that did both. It's going to be really interesting next time around when we play Danganronpa on Saturday night. Okay? And then on Sunday night, I think we're going to do a late night stream of Nier Replicant to continue the B-side run. Okay? And that's the streaming week. I'm off on Monday. And then next week, we'll start up again on Tuesday. And like I said, likely what we'll do is we'll play some Returnal. And I'll balance this with other stuff. But my goal is that next week, hopefully I will defeat Resident Evil 8, finish the playthrough. Because after next week, obviously, there's another new release, the Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy. And I want to start playing Mass Effect 1 like right away when it comes out. Okay? So that's kind of the goal for the next week or so. All right, I hope that sounds good. And listen, I'm getting more hyped now that we're getting towards the end of the week. I like survival horror games. You guys know that. Some people say they're some of my best playthroughs of all time are always survival horror games. We haven't had a major AAA survival horror game in a while. I mean, last year we had Amnesia, and I played through all the Amnesia games, which was fun to do in October. But we haven't had a major AAA survival horror in a long time, so this should be pretty exciting this coming weekend, okay? So hopefully you'll join me, all right? But, of course, that doesn't mean to downscale what we're doing today. I am excited to jump back into Returnal, and I really hope that we make progress so we can at least see the next biome today, possibly. Okay? We'll see. Whew. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the big story about Resident Evil 8 Village and its reviews and everything, I just want to reiterate what I said yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not aware of what's going to happen later this month with Twitch. As you know, about 2 weeks ago, actually it's exactly 2 weeks ago now, my partnership with Twitch was terminated. That means any revenue from things such as subs, cheers, is all gone. And it's unclear whether or not I'm going to receive any payment for the 3 weeks of revenue that I earned streaming here on Twitch in April. Legally, I should receive payment, but apparently people are trying to say that Twitch apparently doesn't pay when they terminate you from the program, which, by the way, is illegal. I can tell you right now from personal experience, both YouTube with their AdSense program as well as partnership networks have tried to do this before and always failed. Legally, they always have to pay you what they owe you. They can't just say, oh, we're pocketing the money, okay? So, we'll see what happens, but my major concern here is very simple, okay? I don't know what's going to happen come the middle of this month. Because typically what would happen is as follows. The first couple weeks of the month, I stream. I earn, tips and stuff on the streams. All right? And during those streams, I use those to pay my early bills in the first couple weeks of the month. Okay? Then the middle of the month, I get paid by Twitch. Around the 15th. And when that comes in, that payment directly pays my mortgage. It pays a back tax payment, among a few other bills. That's where that payment goes. It's incredibly important that I get that payment because it immediately goes towards those bills. All right. If I'm not getting any payment from Twitch this month because they're somehow pocketing the money, which is illegal, that means I have to raise money between now and the 15th to pay my mortgage and to raise enough to pay back taxes, etc., etc. Okay? So that is why I've been having these $200 tips goals every day on stream. It's not that I'm trying to raise extra money. It's not. It's that basically I'm trying to raise exactly what I would have been making if there were subs and cheers on this, stream. But I need to make it in a short period of time because I need this money to pay the upcoming bills that are coming up. Okay? So, please, if you like the content that I put out here, and you have always been supporting in the past, please, I urge you to convert over, and please tip me. Or, you can also pledge to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. Okay? Either one of those things is greatly appreciated. Either one is going to help me in the short term to raise what I need to pay my mortgage this month. Okay? So, I hope that you guys will continue to chill with me and hopefully support the streams if you like them. Please understand that contributions are not mandatory. They're not expected. I'm not holding a gun to anyone's head. But I'm telling you, this is incredibly important to me. This is a bad thing that happened to me. I don't know why it happened because Twitch refuses to tell me. They will not give me a reason for what happened. Nor will they say that I did anything wrong. They basically just kick me out for absolutely no reason and won't tell me why. And that being said, I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do in order to pay bills for the next month. If things keep going well on Twitch, then it's not that big of a deal because at least I'll be ready for next month. But this month is just a nightmare. Like, how am I supposed to pay my bills when there's a large amount of money I earned here on Twitch last month and they might not pay it to me for no justifiable reason, right? So that's a bad thing, obviously. So that's why I'm appealing to you guys. I am going to need your support in the next couple of weeks in order to make ends meet. That's why there's a tip goal of $200 a stream. And by the way, yes, I need to be hitting this tips goal pretty much every stream. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage this month. That's not good. All right? So, please, if you like the streams, if you like the content, please support it. By the way, this weekend, huge weekend with Resident Evil 8. Hopefully everything goes well. Maybe we'll get an influx of viewers, an influx of support. Maybe we won't. It sure would be nice if I did to help me out in the short term. I guess we'll see. Okay? Excuse me. Jay Hawkwood, I didn't break any terms of service, and I've had enough of you. So enjoy your time out now. If you say that again, I'm going to ban you. Because I didn't break any terms of service, nor was I notified that I did. So you can fuck off. That's the point I'm making here. Is that I was never notified that I broke any terms of service, nor was I shown any evidence that I did. I was just gotten to boot with absolutely no justification. So, fuck off. Okay. Anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can, tip me today. We have our usual tips goals in effect. $50 I'll put on the Gunner glasses. For $100 I'll put on a vest. Jasper, please don't chew that wire. Don't do that. Don't be a fresh kitty. Do not be fresh. I just said don't chew that. Don't be a fresh kitty. You're being a good kitty this morning. Now don't start acting up with this baloney. Okay. Excuse me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my God. Stop this right now. He's patrolling back and forth in front of my cell phone wire, waiting for me to turn and not pay attention so he can chomp it. Don't do that. Jasper being very silly. Okay. So, yes, guys, please support the streams if you can. I need help, especially between now and the 15th. Another 10 days I need to basically get raising as much as I can so I can pay my bills this month. Once I get past that, then we can see. Here's the thing. I want to stay on Twitch. I don't want to abandon this community I built for over 4 years. I have ideas of how to re-implement things here on Twitch. Okay, whether it's reactivating emotes through Better Twitch TV, whether it's bringing back polls via a bot, whether it's actually bringing back penne points, whether you can do wagers with channel points via the bot, another bot. I could do these things, but I don't know if I'm staying here on Twitch. I want to, but number one, I have no idea if I'm going to get banned from this site for no reason at all, since I already got banned from the partner program for no reason. Who knows if I'll get banned from the site for no reason? I don't know. It makes me feel pretty uncertain, okay? But in addition to that, I don't know if this month I'm going to be able to make ends meet, and if that's the case, all right, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay here. The thing is, if I were to move over to YouTube to stream, in the short term, it wouldn't even benefit me. Because even if I moved over to YouTube and immediately people started supporting via things like super chats and memberships, I wouldn't even see that benefit immediately, so it still wouldn't help me in the short term with the issue that I got, okay? I still need your short-term support with tips or patron pledges, okay? But long term, I don't know what I'm going to do. What I want to do is see what's going to happen in the next week or two. Am I able to make enough here on Twitch, streaming the way I'm doing now, to support myself and my business and my family and keep going? Or is it going to be, no, I got to move to another place where I'm going to have alternate methods of support? I don't know, okay? I want to try it. I do. I want to try it, but I don't know if it's going to work, okay? So let's see what happens. If the next week or two goes well, I get a ton of support, I make it through this tough time, and nothing bad happens with me here on Twitch, meaning I don't get banned or anything for absolutely nothing, then I'll implement all these changes. All right, I want to implement all these things to bring back stuff to the stream that's been gone since the partnership's been gone. But the way I see it, that'll be a lot of time and effort, used if I'm just going to end up leaving anyway. You know what I'm saying? So in the short term, let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks, okay? And go from there, and just see what happens. Okay? Fair enough? All right. So please, guys, support the stream if you can today. I need the help for the next 10 days in particular. I really need the help. The way it comes down to it is if I can't, if I don't raise enough in the next 10 days, I mean, I'm in incredibly hot water. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Because if I don't pay back taxes now, I'm really in trouble. So I guess we're going to see what happens. All right? I hope that you guys will help me support everything that's going on here, all right? Okay. Okay. All right, I've covered it. We can skip on now to what I actually want to talk about this morning, which is Resident Evil 8. Okay? Resident Evil 8. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this. It's incredibly divisive. Everyone is on the fence about this. If you read different reviews about this game, all right, people are incredibly torn. Most mainstream sites are incredibly praising the game. In fact, if you take a look at most of the mainstream major players, they're giving it a 9 out of 10. Okay? So, great. Now, by the way, no, I am not going to give you a ton of spoilers. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give you generalities about the game. All right? I don't want to spoil the game for anyone. I don't know the whole plot of the game either. I didn't read any full spoiler reviews or anything like that. Basically, what I did is I read 2 or 3 reviews this morning. One from mainstream, and one from kind of an indie guy, and one from someone who's kind of in the middle of the fence. And man, the reviews were dramatically different. Okay? The mainstream guys seem to be praising the shit out of the game. They're saying the graphics are outstanding. They're saying there's a good balance between survival horror and action this time around, while Resident Evil 7 was a lot more survival horror-esque until maybe the end, when there was a lot of combat at the end of the game. They're basically saying, before that, it was a lot of kind of, how do you say? It was more of a throwback to classic Resident Evil. And I even told you guys that when I was playing it. I was like, wow, being in a mansion, having to solve puzzles to open doors and everything. I was like, this really is very, very similar to classic Resident Evil in that regard. But then later on in the game, it changed completely. By the end of the game, I was so confused. And by the way, since I never really followed the lore, I honestly don't understand much about the plot of Resident Evil 7. Besides the fact that I guess a ship that was infected with the virus crashed and it basically contaminated the whole family and turned them into super mutants or whatever. That's about all I understand about Resident Evil 7. I don't know why the hell fucking Chris shows up at the end. Just confuses the living shit out of me. Okay? So anyway, I liked Resident Evil 7 a lot. Alright, but I didn't understand how it kind of tied into the lore of the Resident Evil games. So the mainstream reviewers are saying Resident Evil 8 has more action than Resident Evil 7. it's a bigger setting than Resident Evil 4, although they're saying, most people are saying it's very similar to Resident Evil 4, except that it's first person. So imagine a first person Resident Evil 4 with all that action of these mutating people and everything. Yeah, that's pretty much on par with what Resident Evil 8 is going to be. Okay? Indie reviewers are actually kind of saying completely the opposite. They're saying, well, the game is way more action focused, but that takes away from the survival horror aspect of it. In Resident Evil 7, the whole first half of the game, you feel like it's almost classic Resident Evil. You have scarcity of ammo. It really feels like old school stuff, and it's good because of that. It brings back the whole survival horror feeling and aspect, and people really liked that about it. Apparently, Resident Evil 8 is the opposite. It's more based on just combat constantly, and because of that, enemies drop tons of items. So you never really feel like you're going to run out of ammo or healing. And apparently they did something new. They've never done this in Resident Evil before. Listen to this. There is a new inventory system. Okay? There's two inventories. The first inventory holds things like your guns, your ammo for the guns, etc. But there's an entirely new inventory system called the crafting inventory, where you hold items that you'll craft into healing items and ammo, and this doesn't affect your main inventory. So they've essentially redesigned the inventory system for the first time ever in Resident Evil. You never have inventory management issues the entire game. That's like a core aspect of survival horror, is you got to micromanage, gee, what am I going to carry? What am I not going to carry? Is it safe to grab this? Is it safe to use this? And you have to kind of make do with your inventory space to make sure that you have enough ammo and everything. They're basically saying it's all thrown away. The game essentially becomes an action game. And I hate to say it, guys, but if you think back, let's all think back. What was the last game in the Resident Evil series that was massively panned because it was played as an action game? Resident Evil 6, right? Now, here's the thing. I liked Resident Evil 6 because I played it at face value and said, as an action game, Resident Evil 6 is damn good. It's not a good survival horror game because it doesn't even feel like a survival horror game. I don't think it is. But as an action game, Resident Evil 6 was outstanding, right? So Resident Evil 8, it sounds like they're kind of going back down that path. And I don't know why, because everyone kind of panned Resident Evil 6, said it sucked, besides me. I was like one of the few people who didn't think the game sucked horribly. Everyone else kind of did. But apparently they're going down that route again, which is kind of weird. I mean, the whole vibe of Resident Evil 7 was, you're Ethan, this new character who doesn't know anything about what's going on with the Resident Evil plotline. You don't know about Umbrella or the virus. So seeing these hideous, mutated people out in the swamp is like crazy to you, right? Like, you're going out into the swamp, you're fighting these mutated creatures, right? You see all this shit, you're like, oh my god, your mind is completely blown. And that adds to the horror aspect of the game. But now turning it into basically an action game where now you're an action hero running around blowing everything away, tons of ammo, tons of healing. It seems like it's like whoever wrote the game doesn't really understand survival horror, right? Now again, I'm not saying that means the game won't be good. I'm just saying that's very weird because Resident Evil 7 wasn't really like that for most of the game. It's like they wanted to go back to the roots, and they did, and now all of a sudden they've forgotten all that, and they're kind of going action again. So I don't know. I think that people are going to receive it differently. I think some people are going to like it, and others are going to really be disappointed and be like, what the hell happened? 7 was what you went back to what we wanted. Now 8, you're kind of going off the rails again. Okay? Also, for what I don't understand, in Resident Evil 4, if you guys remember, Leon was basically this insane badass. Not only was he shooting and fighting everything, but then he had, like, these combos and shit. Remember, he could do, like, oh, you're weakened, so I run up and I suplex you, and your body explodes and shit. So apparently that's not in the game. It's just shooting. Like, plain old shooting everything. And some of the critics, again, the more the independent reviewers, not the mainstream guys, but more the independent reviewers are saying it does get tedious because it's so much just shoot, that it really loses the charm of the combat of Resident Evil 4, which it seems like what they were going for, but it doesn't seem to hit it on all cylinders. Also, this will be a minor spoiler, all right? But I'm not going to spoil any of the plot or whatever. From what I'm to understand, all of the marketing has been incredibly deceptive, because everyone's thinking that this lady, Dimitrescu, wherever the fuck her name is like the big baddie of the game and she chases you around like Mr. X. And apparently that is wrong. Completely wrong. It's all been a purpose misconception to try to market the game one way, and the game is not like that. The game is basically run and gun action is Resident Evil 8. So, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil it any more than that. But it's funny how the past 2 months, all you've seen is Lady D is going to chase you like Mr. X. Lady D is going to chase you through the whole game. And nope. It's not like that at all, apparently. It's completely different. So, by the way, not saying that Lady D isn't in the game. She is, but apparently not even a focus. Like, kind of like a, you know what I mean? Like, oh, she's in there, but it's definitely not a big baddie. Like, they're acting like she is. She's not even the antagonist of the game, apparently. So, yeah, that's some pretty big deceptive marketing. Because that's exactly how they've been pushing the game for the past 2 months. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say. Alright? I'm not spoiling any. By the way, I know way more about the game because of the reviews. But I'm not going to spoil any major plot points or nothing. I'm just going to say it's an action-based game. And it seems like it's very different for Resident Evil 7. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not saying this is a bad game at all. It might be great. I might really like it. You guys got to remember something. I like Resident Evil 4. I really liked Resident Evil 6 more so than most people. So as long as it's a game that does have some kind of a survival horror feel to it, as long as the action holds up, I think I'll like the game. You know, I think I'll have a good time with it. I think some people are going to be very critical of the game because it's going back on everything that Resident Evil 7 kind of built. And that's kind of a shame. And apparently we're going to get some answers. If you guys remember, I've been saying the entire time, this game looks weird as shit. Why are there vampires and werewolves and witches? They should just call the game Boo Haunted House. Because it looks like they threw every horror element, every generic horror element into the game. It doesn't even make sense because how the hell does that tie in with the plot of Resident Evil? Okay? Well, we may get some answers. I don't know. One of the reviews that I read kind of alluded to the fact that you do get answers about that. But I don't know. The guy who wrote that, the review was kind of a dick. Like, seriously, like some of the stuff he was like really nitpicking on the game. And I was reading some of the stuff he was writing. I was like, I don't agree with this at all. Like, he actually felt that if this game ties to the original Resident Evil plotline, he feels that that's bad. I was like, how? If you've been playing this series since the first game, wouldn't you want the new games to tie to the original plotline? Wouldn't you be disappointed if the game had nothing to do with the early installments and is just confusing as shit? Like, that, to me, that was one of the things that turned me off from Resident Evil 7. Is that I played the whole game. By the end of the game, I didn't really understand how that really tied into the plotline of Resident Evils before it. It just seemed like a spin-off game. And by the way, it was a great game, but it seemed like a spin-off to me. Okay? But all I know is that there may be ties to the original Resident Evil plotline in this game. Some people like that. Some people are pissed. Like, how could you be pissed? I hate to say it, you know what it is? These people didn't play the originals. They're not fans of the series. They're playing the game as a fucking job, right? They're treating it as this was a job I had to do. And so to them, oh, well, it's not a completely original concept because it has stuff, you know, oh, it ties to the original plot lines. Well, that's what people want. If they've played them all along, they want the lore to continue, right? They don't want to feel like we've invested all of this time since the 90s. We've invested all of this time in the Resident Evil franchise. We would like the plot to continue. We'd like maybe a culmination of the plot line in the modern era rather than just kind of dropping it all out of nowhere and feel like we wasted 20 years. Right? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this weekend. My personal take after reading some of the reviews is I think I'm really going to like it. I do. I actually think I'm going to like the game. Although, admittedly, a game that has every fucking, like, generic horror trope in it may be kind of cheesy. But if the action is good and there are some good scares and stuff, then I feel that maybe it's going to be a really good game. And by the way, I hope that the graphics are outstanding. You know, being on PS5, I'm going to play it. I hope that the graphics blow me away because, you know, that's kind of the point of having a next-gen console. And let's face it, a lot of the games recently are just PS4 games running at 60 frames. nothing's really been designed from the ground up for PS5 besides Returnal. So I hope this game shines on PlayStation 5. I guess we'll see. Okay. So, hopefully those were no major spoilers. It wasn't. It was just basically generalities about the game that I talked about. It leaves me kind of being excited for the game this weekend, but at the same time kind of skeptical of what to expect. I guess we're going to find out together. Okay? Alright. I know, it's not a true next-gen game, Swaggins. He says it's not true because it's on the last-gen console. What's interesting to me, and I actually haven't mentioned this on, at all on streams recently, isn't it interesting that it was supposed to be only next-gen, this game? This game, it was announced it was only going to be on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X. And then all of a sudden, there's a shortage of consoles, and oh, well, we're gonna. It's available now on last gen too. Like, wait, what? You said outright that the last gen consoles couldn't handle this game. That's why you were putting them exclusively on next gen. Now all of a sudden, like a month and a half before the game, you completely change your tune because no one can get their hands on the new consoles. Isn't that kind of interesting? That kind of throws me for a loop. That, oh, isn't it funny how all of a sudden we spur of the moment, we figured out how to engineer these games to work well on last gen. Like, huh? I don't know. That just kind of, you know, throws me for a loop. It's like, yeah, right. I think they were being dishonest the whole time. They obviously could have released this for last gen, you know? Hobo X says, did you see the ray tracing mode still has 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5 Series X? From what I'm to understand, if you enable the ray tracing, okay, on PS5 and Xbox Series X, the game will obviously have better lighting and stuff, but it starts at 60 frames, but it can stagger. Apparently, if you have ray tracing off, the game runs at a smooth 60 frames. So I'm of the impression, likely, I'm going to have ray tracing off because, number one, let's face it here, I play games and broadcast them at 720p. Now, I see 1080p on my TV, but you guys only see 720p. Are you really going to be able to see the difference in the ray tracing if it's on or off? I doubt it. So, likely, I'm just going to be playing this thing with the ray tracing off because I want the smooth 60 frames per second. Okay? I guess we'll see. But anyway, I am excited for it. The reviews make me hopeful. At least it wasn't, you know, oh, this is a stinker. It's not. Everyone's of the impression the game is good. It's just differing opinions on whether or not you like a more action-based Resident Evil or you're looking for a more hardcore survival horror. I guess we'll see. But I'm excited for it this weekend. I hope you guys are too. Okay? I hope so. Okay. Alright guys, outside of that, just a quick reminder, I would like to remind everyone to please keep nominating games for the upcoming Retro Replay event. You can do it by typing !! Retro Replay into the stream chat, or every 15 minutes or so the link will pop itself up. By the way, my allergy pill is kicked in, thank God. During my talk about Resident Evil 8, the congestion in my nose went away, so I actually feel a lot better now. Thank goodness, because I was feeling like shit, honestly. What are you talking about? 480? What are you talking about? Is my camera only 480? No. I'll show you. Hold on. Hold on a second. People are asking a weird question. They're asking, is this webcam 480? Right now it is, because that's the setting I have it on. This webcam can go up to 1080p, but when I used to do that, it was very early on when I was doing face cam with certain playthroughs, like Dark Souls and stuff. I would have this webcam on a higher resolution, like 720p. So at one point I had it at 1080p. The problem was, it would actually cause frame dips in the raw video. Like, sometimes you would see it would stutter. Everything would stutter because it was using all the RAM. I don't see a reason why you need, if it's a small webcam like this on screen, it would be one thing if I'm doing full screen. Like, if I'm doing this and you want to see me talk to you directly, sure, I'll pump up the quality to 720 or 1080. That makes sense, right? But if I'm just doing this, why the hell do you need 720 or 1080? Right? You're not gonna see any significant difference in quality at all. And what it does is it sucks up the resources of my computer and it makes it so that the video ends up getting choppy. So that's why after doing that for a little bit, I think I did it for like a couple of weeks, and people were saying, gee, you know, what is the quality of your webcam? Because I think that we're having problems with the video, and I realized, oh, there's, you know, that's probably why. So I downgraded it to 480p, and now I don't have problem. It doesn't really affect the video. It's a very, very low bandwidth use. So there's your answer. Someone was asking me about the webcam. I don't know why, but there you go. Okay. So let's get to shout outs. First of all, overnight, someone named Mad Scientist sent me a tip. $13.89. It says, thank you for the content. You're welcome, Mad Scientist. Thank you for the overnight tip. I appreciate that. Snow Carl is the first official tipper of the day with a $1.30 tip. So let's get Snow Carl up there on the leaderboard. Oops. Although that very well may change briefly here. Okay. So Snow Carl says the following. Phil, good morning. Quick shout out to the trial mods, Only Iced Coffee, and Fihu. They've been doing a good job, or great job. They haven't been too harsh nor too soft, and they're humble in their work. Yeah, I really haven't heard anything negative about our new trial mods this week. People seem to be, you know, at least accepting of them, which is a good thing. Just a reminder, this week we had 2 new trial mods, and Timbo Slice returned as a full-time moderator. We've definitely needed the help. The last couple of weeks, admittedly, the moderation's been on the light side, and now this week with all the new releases plus Resident Evil 8 this coming weekend, I knew we were going to need additional mod shit. Okay? So, you know, please give them the benefit of the doubt. Please don't give them a hard time. In particular, Only Iced Coffee and Fee, who are learning the ropes of being a mod on this stream, which is very different from being a moderator on other streams too, because the amount of trolling and shit that we get coming in here, people coming in with negative memes and shit, and, you know, it is what it is. But I am appreciative of them stepping up to try to help out, especially now, during a time frame when so much is going on with new releases and everything, and, you know, a lot of trolling coming in and everything. At this point, we still got people coming in, they think that they're, like, funny or something. It's been 2 weeks since I lost my partnership with Twitch, and these people are coming in like, gee, Phil, what happened? Why'd you lose your partnership? It's like, dude, it's 2 weeks old, the news. Like, it's not funny anymore. You know, like, they think it's a running joke to come in and keep saying stupid shit like that. Like, dude, we all are aware of what happened. We don't need to be talking about it constantly, and you're just basically trying to, you know, cause drama in here. So, and by the way, okay, I'm going to bring something up that recently was a topic of heated debate and discussion, and then it went away for a while, and then it came up again the other day. In regards to people talking about the hate army, all right, allow me to explain to you briefly what this means, where it came from, and my feelings about it, all right? Many years ago, when I used to be part of the competitive Street Fighter community, before I ever made a piece of content for the internet, I was part of various gaming teams, all right? At one point, I made a parody website to make fun of a West Coast group of Street Fighter players. They were called topplayers.com, so my parody website was called tophaters.com. And I made a joke that you could join the mailing list, the Hate Army mailing list, okay? So that's where the term originated. Now, it was defunct for the greater part of like 10 years, all right? Then when I became a YouTuber and people started to like my content on YouTube, okay? I kind of alluded to, oh, maybe my fans could be called the Hate Army or mobilize the Hate Army and stuff like that, all right? Now, this was very early on in my time as a content creator, all right? I think at one point, I may have actually sold some merch. I think the times when I first started on Cafe Press over a decade ago, and even, you know, when I started on Teespring like 5-6 years ago, I threw up really, you know, crappy quality merchandise that said Hate Army and stuff on it, only because I was looking for something to quickly put up there. But there is no such thing as the Hate Army. I've told you guys over the years that I came to the determination that I personally feel that my fan base is better than simply being categorized into a group name like that. Like, there are other content creators that do it. They'll say, oh, the Brofist Army, the Angry Army, the Champions Club, or whatever the heck they want to call their viewer bases. And the reason they do it is because they want to be able to refer to them in a collective manner. All right? And I guess, I mean, from what I'm to understand, because I don't do it, I couldn't really attest personally to it, but from what I'm to understand is, when they basically do that, they create a feeling of belonging to a greater group. You see what I'm saying? Like, wow, I belong to this big collective group. And it gives people a feeling of kind of belonging and camaraderie with other people who like that certain kind of content creator. All right? Personally, for me, I don't like that. The reason I don't like that is because I see all of you as individuals. I don't see you as a collective group. I see you as people who come by every day, and you come from all walks of life. You come from all different places around the globe, all different identifications. You know, you're all individuals to me. You're not a big faceless mob of fans. You're just a bunch of people who like games just like me, and you want to come enjoy games at face value with me on a daily basis. You want to maybe have a cool interaction or conversation with me on a live stream. That's what it's all about for me. To me, it's not, oh, I have to entertain this giant faceless group of people today that I categorize into a name. It's like, I get to talk with some cool people today. I'm going to have some fun conversations with this person and this person and this person on stream. And every day feels like a different day to me because it is. Everything's fresh and different. Every day could be a different experience. I like that about my streams, okay? And let's be very honest about this. I'm a streamer of a certain size that I am able to have that kind of a relationship with you guys. I can talk directly to you on a daily basis because I'm not a ginormously famous, over-popular streamer that can't handle it. Do you see? If I were as big as some of these other content creators, I wouldn't be able to have these fun conversations with you guys. They wouldn't exist. It would be stream chat moving a mile a minute and then having to constantly put it into, like, you know, followers-only mode or these modes that basically slow down the stream chat because I wouldn't be able to handle chilling with you guys. All right? You see? So, for me, I would never want to categorize you guys into something as general as saying, oh, the hate army, or we've joked over the years and said things like the Philistines or the philanthropists, or, you know, we joke about it. It doesn't exist, guys. Like, seriously, it doesn't exist at all. There's no grouping. I've never officially said any kind of a grouping. Now, here's the thing. Recently, in the past month or so, a few people, i.e. the people who don't like me out there, the restreamers, the detractors, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the trolls, they jumped on this because they said, oh, Phil used to use this term hate army all the time. Well, now we're in the woke generation, right? Everyone's going back and looking at posts and things people said 10 years ago, trying to get them canceled with cancel culture. So they go back and they say, look, Phil used to try to mobilize his viewers and call them the hate army. Oh my God. A hateful individual trying to stir more hate on the internet. Let's get him canceled off the internet for doing this. Okay? Obviously, that wasn't the case at all. If you take a look at my moniker, the King of Hate and things like that, it has nothing to do with that. It's completely different reason. You all know the reason I'm the King of Hate is because I take all the hatred that's thrown against me, all the people that unfairly treat me in a messed up way, people who say I can't succeed, and I use all of that as motivation to keep going and motivate myself to push forward positively in life and keep succeeding when I'm told I can't. I own my own hate against me and turn it into motivation, and that's why I'm the King of Hate. Get it? That's what the term means. Not, oh, he's the guy who just hates on every game and hates on every game dev and spews hate and negativity on his streams. That's not what it is. It's never what it was. But so many people have that misconception. So what these people have done in the last month, they tried to take that old reference of hate army and make it sound like I was some kind of a hate monger and I was trying to rile up people on the internet to be racist and all kinds of stupid shit. That never happened. Okay? So, when people started coming on my stream and joking about it, I said, guys, you can't do that. You can't, because people are going to take it the wrong way. They're going to twist it into something bad. Do you want to see me continue to be able to stream? Then don't bring up shit that I don't even talk about. I don't talk about the past and how I used to reference people as a hate army very briefly in the past, because I realize now that's a very negative thing for 2021. People will totally get the wrong impression and try to spin it against me. All right? But then people took that as an opportunity to say, aha, now we can come in and we can harass Phil by saying hate army and we're part of the hate army and we can do this constantly. All right? So that's the truth of the matter is I don't want that in my chat. All right? Now here's the thing. If every once in a while someone makes a joke about it or references it, that's okay. And with everything, it's about moderation. Doing things in moderation. Not going over the top. Okay? So here's the thing. People do that too much. if every once in a while someone makes a joke about Hate Army, who cares? If for 2 hours of my stream you get idiots fucking in the chat spamming about Hate Army, yeah, you're gonna get banned. What are you, fucking stupid? Yeah, you are. If you come in here and you try to derail my stream, you go to one extreme, then obviously you're not gonna be here anymore. You know, I mean, it's common sense, but again, this is the thing. These people who do these kind of things don't have common sense. Then they bitch about it later. Oh, I didn't know. Well, you're an idiot. Sorry, you don't have any common sense, and you came in here and you basically ruined the chat for everyone for like 2 hours because you're a fucking idiot. Then you finally get moderated, and then you complain about it. All right? So, it's this simple. I'm not going to outright ban the term Hate Army. I'm not going to make it that if anyone says it, you immediately get insta-banned. But it's all about moderation. It's about not coming in here and claiming that I still call my viewers that. Don't claim to be part of it. That's not real. All right? That's very derailing to the stream and basically makes me look bad. And if you keep talking about it, yeah, you will get moderated. Because you're an idiot and you're derailing the stream. Okay? So please understand that. Okay? I just want to make that as clear and upfront as I can so there's no misconceptions about it. All right? All right. Fair enough. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to go on my break, as you know. I take a brief break before I get to gameplay here. I use the restroom. I urge that you guys take this opportunity to grab a drink or a snack and use the restroom yourselves. And then when I come back, we're going to have 3+ hours of Returnal, and God, I hope we can beat the second world today. All right? So far today, we have a $1 in tip support. As I said, guys, I need to raise these tip goals between now and the middle of the month to pay my mortgage. So please support the stream if you can. Please, if you like the content, I really need the help right now, all right? Thank you in advance. Let's take a break. When I come back, let's jump into Returnal and redouble our efforts here and try to beat Second World, all right? All right, guys, thank you, and I shall see you in just a bit. Thanks.